Okay, we have started the chapter 2, second chapter. We have started the second chapter, and we have seen the mesh analysis in the last class. So let me start few more things today. After the mesh, which one? Okay, mesh is here. See the nodal analysis, the complex circuits via nodal analysis. Okay, so let me clear this thing. 2.6.b. This one. Look at this figure. This is the, we have solved this one using the mesh analysis, but we can solve this one using the nodal analysis also. So let us show you the nodal analysis. Here see, this is one node, this is another node. So what is the node voltage? That is VL and that is VC. Why VL? Because it is the inductor node voltage. And why VC? Because this is the capacitor node voltage. Okay. So uh, often the easiest way to find the transfer function is to use the nodal analysis rather than the mesh analysis. See, sometimes it is easier to use the nodal analysis instead of mesh analysis. Okay, the number of simultaneous differential equations that must be written is equal to the number of nodes whose voltage is unknown. See, number of equations should be equal to the number of nodes. In the previous example, we wrote simultaneous mesh equations using Kirchhoff's voltage law KVL. For multiple nodes, we use Kirchhoff's current law and some currents flowing from each node. Again, as a convention, current flowing from the node are assumed to be positive, and currents flowing into the node are assumed to be negative. Okay. Admittance. What is the admittance? Admittance is the reciprocal of the impedance, or 1 by Z. Y is equal to 1 by Z. Or since V is equal to, since Z is equal to V by I, so 1 by Z is equal to I by V. Okay. So instead of impedance in the nodal analysis, we will use the admittance. Okay. So Y is equal to 1 over Z or I by V. So let us look at the transfer function multiple nodes. See, find the transfer function VCS by Vs for the circuit in figure 2.6b. Use the nodal analysis. Okay. For this problem, we sum currents at the nodes rather than the sum voltages around the meshes. From figure 2.6.b, the sum of the currents flowing from the node VL and VS are represented respectively. So what is the current flowing? VL minus VS divided by R1 plus VL by LS plus VL minus VC by R2, 0, 0. So let me show you the figure. See, V minus VL divided by R1, VL by LS and VL minus VC divided by R2 is equal to 0. That is the first equation, current equation. See, VL minus VS is equal to R1 plus VL by LS plus VL minus VC is equal to by R2 is equal to 0. So we are considering the node, VL node. Again, if you consider the node, the capacitance node, so CS into VC, CS into VC, CS into VC plus VC minus VL divided by R2 is equal to 0. Here see, if you consider this one, uh, for the capacitance, it will be multiplied. Okay, just simple one. Let me show you like this: VC divided by 1 by CS, right? So what does it mean? It is equal to CS into VC. Okay. So if you divide, it would be multiplied. And here, VL divided by LS. Other things are same. It is. See, okay, but we know that conductance. See this thing. What is the conductance? Admittance is complex. The real part is called conductance and the imaginary part is called susceptance. See this one, the definition. Admittance is complex. The real part is called the conductance. Imaginary part is the susceptance. But when we take the reciprocal of resistance to obtain the admittance, a purely real quality results. The reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. The reciprocal of resistance is called the conductance. Okay. So here we have used that thing. So G1 is equal to 1 by R1 and G2 is equal to 1 by R2. So if we use G1 and G2 instead of 1 by R1, then we can write it like this. Okay. So if we take the common VL common, take the VL common. Okay. And take the VS common. Take the take the VL common and move the VS to the right side. Then you will get this kind of equation. And here also you can if you rearrange the equation, then you can write this. And now if we solve this one, then we can write VC by VS is equal to this one. Okay, just you have to solve this one. So that is the nodal analysis. Using the nodal analysis, you can also solve the problem. Okay, instead of mesh analysis. So they have shown this one. Okay. Another problem is given here. Like for the network of figure 2.6, find the transfer function VCS by VS using as a transformed circuit with transfers. Okay, let's skip this one to 2.12. We have seen this one yesterday. Okay, let me show you another thing. Op-amp, operational amplifier. That is the very important one, operational amplifier. Okay, so operational amplifier, I think you know that. It is also known as the op-amp. There are several type of operation amplifier like this one. That is the general structure of the op-amp. This is a inverting op-amp, inverting operation amplifier. Okay, and there is a inverting operation amplifier configured for transfer function operation. See, that is the inverting operation amplifier. Here see, positive line, positive would be connected to the ground and negative would be connected with the voltages. See Z1 and Z2. See the current, this is the current I1, that is the IA amplifier current, and this is the I2. Okay, this is that is V0, VI, V input, this one V1. Okay, now it has some equations. Like see, differential input. An operation amplifier is an electronic amplifier used as a basic building block to implement transfer functions. Okay, it is a basic building block to implement the transfer functions. It has the following characteristics. Op-amp has some following characteristics like differential input V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. Where is the V2? Okay, high input impedance high, low output output is low, high conductance, constant gain amplification ideal. Okay, so final equation should be like this: the V naught is equal to A into V2T minus V1T. Now, inverting operation amplifier, a V2 is grounded. If V2 is grounded, okay, see, that is the V2. If V2 is grounded, the amplifier is called an inverting operation amplifier, as shown in the figure 2.10b. For the inverting operation amplifier, we have V naught. Since it is 0, it is grounded. So V naught would be minus A V1T. A is the gain. Okay. So V naught is equal to minus A V1T. That is the equation for operation amplifier. Okay. So I remember this one, an op amp that is negative, that is positive. Positive is connected to the ground. Okay. And here, uh, okay, that is Vi. Here the V1, here the V2. Say that is Z1, Z1, that is Z2. Like this. Okay, there is a thing. Okay. If two impedances are connected to the inverting operation amplifier, as shown in figure 2.10c, let's say two impedances are connected, Z1 and Z2, like this way, we can derive an interesting result if the amplifier has the characteristic mentioned in the beginning of this subsection. If the input impedance to the amplifier is high, then by Kirchhoff's current law, I is equal to 0 and I1 is equal to minus I12. So finally, the output would be V naught by Vi is equal to minus Z2 by Z1. So just remember this one, this final equation, this one. V naught by Vi is equal to minus Z2 by Z1. That is the main thing. V naught by Vi divided is equal to minus Z2 by Z1. That you need to remember this one. Okay. You need to remember this one. Minus Z2 by Z1. V naught by Vi is equal to minus Z2 by Z1. Okay. Now, see the problem. Problem 2.14. Find the transfer function V naught by Vi for the circuit given below. So here is a circuit is given. So for this circuit, okay, see this one. For this circuit, we have to find out the V naught divided by Vi. V naught is the output, Vi is the input. So V naught by Vi for the circuit given below. The figure 2.11. Okay. So inverting operation amplifier circuit, for example, 2.14. So here, if you look at the figure, C1 is equal to 5.6 microfarad and R1 is equal to 360 kilo ohm, R2 is 220 kilo ohm, C 2.1 microfarad. Okay, like this. Now, Z1, what is the Z1? Z1 is the 1 by C1s plus 1 by R1. That is the Z1. That is the Z1 is equal to 1 by C1s plus 1 by R1. Okay. And how it comes? This one, Z1, the parallel. Both are parallel, right? Both are 1 by C1s, 1 by C1s. Both are parallel. Since it is parallel, so Z1 would be like this. Let me write you. See, 1 by 1 by 1 by C1s plus 1 by R1. So since it becomes 1 by 1, so C1s would be like this, C1s plus 1 by R1. Okay, like this. Okay, then just put the values, then you'll get the this result. Again for this one, this is series, so it would be positive plus R2 plus 1 by C2s, yes, plus, okay, Z2. Now use the equation V0 by Vi is equal to minus Z2 divided by Z1. See, minus Z2 divided by Z1. Just put the value, then we'll get there. The resulting circuit is called the PID controller and can be used to improve the performance of a control system. So that is the PID controller. This circuit is called the PID controller, and we can use this one to improve the performance of a control system. We export this, okay, in the chapter 9. They export this one in the chapter 9. So remember this kind of circuit is called the PID controller. Okay. Okay, now see, non-inverting amplifier, non-inverting op-amp.
There was PID.
PID, three terms, proportional, integration, differentiation. Okay, PID. We have a lab. According to the to get the idea about the PID. Okay, so we'll see this in the lab details. But just for the time being, you just get the idea that this kind of circuit is used to control the characteristic of the system. Okay, by using this kind of circuit, we can change the output of a control system. Okay, controller. This kind of circuit can be used as a control. Okay. Now, non-inverting op-amp. What would be the non-inverting op-amp? Just if we look at the circuit diagram of an operational amplifier, see if this kind of figure, if we draw this kind of circuit, then that would be the non-inverting op-amp. What is the difference? Here difference is that in previously this one was the grounded, but now this one grounded. See, previously second one was grounded, but now the second one is not grounded. It is connected with the source. Okay. We now derive the transfer function. We see that V0 is equal to Vi minus V1. That is the V0 into A. A is the gain. But the voltage division V1 is equal to, if you use the voltage division Z1, that is the Z1 divided by Z1 plus Z2 into V0s. Okay. So finally we use this equation. Okay. So that is the final equation. V0 by Vi is equal to Z1 plus Z2 divided by Z1. Just you need to remember the final equations. Okay. Previously for the inverting amplifier, it was minus Z2 by Z1. For the non-inverting amplifier, it is Z1 plus Z2 divided by Z1. Just remember these equations. The block equation. The equation within the block. That is the main thing for this kind of problem. Okay. Now see. So when I give you the circuit diagram, then you have to identify by yourself that what kind of circuit it is. It is inverting or non-inverting. Okay, so you have to decide by yourself. But I would not tell you that that is the non-inverting amplifier or that is the inverting amplifier, but you have to decide, okay, which kind of equation you would use. Okay, so that is your test. Find the transfer function V0 by VIS for the circuit given in figure below. Okay, So since if we look at the circuit, then we can say that that is the non-inverting op amp. Okay, that is the non-inverting op amp. Why non-inverting? Because look at the positive terminal. That is connected with the input source, right? That is the input source. So it is non-inverting. For the inverting, if this terminal, this positive terminal is connected with the ground. So that is the difference. Okay. Now, so like before, just find out the Z1, R1 plus 1 by C1S. Okay, that is the formula. And Z2, find the Z2. Since it is parallel, so use the parallel formula. Just multiply those things and this kind of equation would come, and put those equations in the final equation. So what was the equation? Z1 plus Z2 divided by Z1S. Okay, just put this equation, then you will understand. So that is the thing. That is the way you can solve this kind of equation. See, now if I give you the value value of the C1, C2, R2, R1, then you have to put this value in the equation and you will get a result. Okay, you will get a numerical result. If I give you the value, they have not given you the value, they just show you the basic thing. Okay, that would be the idea for this kind of problem. But in the next problem, I think skill assessment solve the problem to mesh analysis and show that. Okay, so they have said that use a mesh analysis and nodal analysis. This is the skill assessment, and some other problems are there. Okay, so remember, we can use the values instead of the just instead of this kind of problem. We can use the direct value, like C1. I can give you the value of C1, and I can give you the value of R1. Okay, and C2, R2, like this. That is the electrical system. Now, what would happen if we look at the mechanical system transfer function? Okay, electrical system, mechanical system, two things are there: electrical system transfer function and mechanical system transfer function. Okay, so just look at this. Look at the thing here. What we have seen. We have seen three things. Spring. Okay. Okay. Okay, see. That is the spring. That is the damper, viscous damper. This is the mass. Three kind of thing are there for the mechanical system. Three kinds of things are there: spring, viscous damper, and mass. Spring, viscous damper, and mass, these three things are there for the mechanical system. Okay, now force and velocity, relation between the force and velocity. F is the force, V is the velocity, tau is the time. Okay, so K is the constant, spring constant, that is known as the spring constant. 0 to T time, V tau d tau. And force displacement kxt. X is the displacement, the distance. X is the distance. And impedance K. Here is the impedance, is the K. Fs by Xs. Another one is viscous damper. Look at the equation: Ft, force velocity, Fv, Vt. Ft is equal to Fv dxt dt, Fvs. And the mass, force velocity, force displacement, impedance. Okay, these are the things. Okay, the following set of symbols and units is used throughout this book. Ft is equal to Newton, force. Xt, distance, meters. Vt, velocity, meter per second. K, Newton per meter. Fv, Newton second per meter. M is kg, or Newton second square per meter. Okay, these are the symbols and unit we have been used throughout this semester. Okay, for these values. So you will understand this when you do the math. Actually, control system is basically a mathematical course. Okay, so lots of maths are there. Okay, now some important things you have to understand here now. See, mechanical systems parallel electrical networks to such extent that there are analogies between electrical and mechanical components variables. See, some things are similar. We can compare the electrical components with the mechanical components. Okay, have three passive linear components. Like the electrical networks, mechanical system has three passive components. Two of them, the spring and the mass, are energy storage elements. See, spring and mass are energy storage elements. One of them, one viscous damper, dissipates energy, like the resistance. The two energy storage elements are analogous to the two electrical energy storage elements, the inductor and the capacitor. See, spring and mass are energy storage component which are similar to the inductor and capacitor. And energy dissipator is analogous to the electrical resistance. Let us take a look at these mechanical elements which are shown in table 2.4. K, Fb and M are called spring constant, coefficient of viscous friction, and mass. Okay. We now create analogies between electrical and mechanical system by comparing table 2.3 and 2.4. Comparing the force velocity, okay, just skip this thing. Okay, lots of things we have to read if I want to go there. Okay, now simple equation, the simple problem of the mechanical system. Simple problem for the mechanical system. Just look at the figure here. Okay, if we look at the uh, if we look at the figure, then what we can see? See that here is a mass, right? Okay, now at first, what is the transfer function xs by fs for the system? Figure 2.15a. Just find out the transfer function for the system 2.15a. Now see, xs by fs for the system of figure 2.15a. M is the mass, K is a spring, that is the damper. Three things are there for the mechanical system. Okay, xt, that means the and along this direction. Okay, ft, that is the direction of the force. Okay, at first of all you have to draw the free body diagram. Begin the solution by drawing the free body diagram shown in figure 2.16a. Place on the mass all forces felt by the mass. We assume the mass is traveling toward the right, thus only the applied force points to the right. All other forces impede the motion and act to opposite it. Hence, okay. Okay, now write the differential equations of motion using Newton's law to sum to zero all of the forces shown on the mass in figure 2.16. Okay, here see, that is the M, mass. First of all, if the force felt at this direction, okay, force is felt at this direction, then it will felt what? It will felt opposite force at these directions. So finally, we can write that Ft is equal to m d square dt square xt plus fv dxt dt plus kxt is equal to Ft. We now write the differential equations for motion using Newton's law to sum to zero all of the forces shown on the mass in figure 2.16a. Okay, now convert it to the Laplace transform kxt kxs fv ddt of x, that means fvs xs m d square dt square x ms square xs fs. Okay, now convert it to the this equation.
Sir, again, figure A.
Okay, see m. Now look at here. Okay, try to understand from this equation, this figure. Ft, that means the force here. Just we are pulling this along this. Okay, here someone is pulling this thing m. Let's say some person are there, and he is pulling this thing to this direction. Okay, he is pulling this thing to this direction. Okay, some person, but it felt a opposite direction, felt a force, some forces from these directions. Now for that case, you create the equation. So someone pulling this here from along this direction, but it felt some opposite force, so that it stay at it is. That's the thing we discussed here. Okay, that is the thing you have to consider. So kxtc, that is for the spring, fv d dt of x, that is this one. But there is another force which is opposite to the this ft, that is the mass, because according to the inertia, third law of the motion, Newton's third law of the motion, the system or the device or the mass, the object will try to stay as it is. Okay, according to the inertia. So the mass would feel the opposite force to stay as it is. So this thing will also be considered. That's why three forces are there. See, one force is for the spring because it is connected with the spring. Another force is for the FV, the damper, and the third force would be for its mass itself. So you have to pull this thing again, three kind of forces. Okay, so if Ft is equal to is greater than combination of these three, then the mass will move. Otherwise, you cannot move the mass.
Sir, mass constant.
Yeah, constant. F is a constant, K is a constant. Okay, X is the distance. X is the distance. Okay, now write the equation for this thing and take the x's common. So what would be the output? X's divided by Fs, or 1 over ms square plus abs plus k. Okay. See, begin the solution by drawing the free body diagram shown in figure. Place on the mass all forces felt by the mass. So all forces felt by the mass. We assume the mass is traveling toward the right. So it is traveling toward the right. Thus, only the applied force points to the right. So only the applied force point to the right. All other forces impede the motion and act to oppose it. So all other forces will oppose this force. Hence the spring, the viscous damper, and the force due to acceleration point to the left. We now write the differential equations of motions using Newton's law to sum to zero all of the forces shown in the mass in figure 2.16a. Okay. Free body diagram of mass, spring, and damper system. So then you transform it to the Laplace transform. Okay. So you need to use the Laplace transform equation to find the transfer function. So finally, the transfer function of this system is this one. Okay, that is the transfer function of this system. Now let's look some more example. Okay, before looking at the example, see this. For the spring, Fs is equal to K into Xs. For the damper, FBS Xs. For the mass, Ms square Xs. And for the impedance, Fs by Xs. Okay. Impedance for a mechanical component is Fs by Xs, or Fs ZMS into Xs. Okay. So sum of impedances into Xs is equal to sum of applied forces. Okay, here is some complicated example. Okay, see the figure. That is the complicated example. Try to understand the figure. Two mass 1 and mass 2. See, mass 1 and mass 2 are connected. Mass 1 and mass 2. Okay, mass 1 and mass 2. They are felting FV1 and FV2, and they're connected through the K2, the spring K2, and damper FV3. See, K1, M1 is connected to this is spring, K1 is spring, M2 is connected to K3, and they have the common thing, K2. Okay, and FV3. This is the common for both of them. Find the transfer function x to s, by Fs for the system of the figure 2.17a. So find the transfer function x to s by Fs for the system of figure 2.17a. Okay. Now, 2 degree of freedom, translational mechanical system, and block diagram. Okay. M1 and M2. K1, K2, K3, FB3. Now, first of all, okay. Okay, now look at the figure one. This one, M1. What is the forces it felt? It is felting this one. It felt the AB1, K1, K2, AB3, and for its mass itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forces are there. See, for mass 1, what it felt? Forces on M1 due only to motion of M1. So forces of M1 is K1 X1S. It comes from this one, K1 X1S, FV1 SX1S, this one, Fs force, because force is here, this right direction, and the mass itself, M1 S square X1S, and some other forces, this one, K2 XS and FB3, x1s. Okay, these force. Again, forces on M1 due only to motion of M2. Now, for this one, for this M2, it felt K2x2 and AB3x2. K2x2 and AB3x2. Now combine all these things. Combine all these things, then you will get this one. See the direction. X1, K1 plus AB3. K1 plus K2, K1 plus K2, AB1 plus AB3, Fs, M1 S square X1s, K2X2, K2X2, AB3, X2s. Okay. So if we combine these two, then we'll get this one. Okay, if we combine these two, then we'll get this one. Okay. Now for similar thing happen for the M2. Now if we look at the M2, now look at the M2. What is own forces are there? Just at first look at the own force, then look at the common force. At first of all, forces on M2 due to only to motion of M2, K2x2, AB2xs2, AB3sx2, M2s square x2s, and K3x2s. And the B forces on M2 due only to motion of M1, and that is only for motion of M1. And combine all these three, all forces. So if you write only this one and this one, it is okay. You do not need to write all these things. No need. Just write the final block. Okay, draw the final block. That is enough. If you draw the final block, that would be enough for the time being. Okay. Now finally write these two equations. Write these two equations and solve this. Then you will get the final result. Okay. So final result would be like this. Delta. You can skip the delta because you do not. If you write the full equation, it would be very large. So for the time being, just draw the just write the delta instead of all equations or all complicated equations. Okay. So x2 by fs, that is the output. FV3s. So do you understand how to solve this one? X2 by fs. If we consider the x2, then we are not considering the other thing. Okay, let me show you how to solve the x2. Let's say x2, x2s, x2s. So first of all, here delta, write this one. Coefficient of m1 s square fv1 plus fv3 into s plus k1 plus k2. Coefficient of x1 is, and here the fs and the fs. And here 0, here 0, and here these equations, and minus fb3 s plus k2, and here is a 0. So this thing will be 0. So the equation would be fs into ab3s plus k2 divided by delta. So x2 divided by f s is equal to AB3 plus K2 divided by delta. See, this simple one, like this way. And what is the delta? Delta, when you consider the delta, then this coefficient, this coefficient, this coefficient, and this coefficient. Okay, write this coefficient. Now multiply it. Now see, if you multiply it, then it would be more difficult one for you guys. Okay, so just skip the for time being. And similarly, another examples are there, like the equations of motion by inspection. Write but do not solve. You have to write but do not solve the equation. See, like before, M1, M2, M3. Three masses are there. First of all, X1 is sum of impedances connected to the motion at X1. Sum of impedances between X1 and X2 minus sum of impedances between X1 and X3 is equal to sum of applied forces at X1. That is the basic thing. Similarly, for that is for the M1 and that is for the M2. Okay. The common thing would be negative. Common thing would be negative. Okay. Sum of impedances between X2 and X3. Say X2 and X3. X2, that is the X2 and that is the X3. Okay. So finally, you can find these equations. See, so one by one, M2 for the M, for M2. Okay, for the M1, sum of impedances connected to the motion at X1. So for the X1, some impedances are connected. This one, this one, this one, this one. Sum minus sum of impedances between X1 and X2. X1 and X2 negative. And X1 and X3 negative. Sum of applied forces at X1. For the M2, minus sum of impedances between X1 and X2 negative, plus sum of impedances connected to the motion of X2, since it is X2, so it would be positive, minus sum of impedances between X2 and X3, it would be negative. Similar thing would happen here. Okay. Now use the basic idea and write the equations like this. Three equations. They have said that do not solve, but write it. And this is the skill assessment exercise. Find the transfer function. GS is equal to x2 by fs for the translational mechanical system shown in the figure. Okay. So another thing is the rotational mechanical system. I think it is not better to go there. Okay, just I'm stopping today from up to this. Okay, so mechanical system. We have seen the important things.
Sir, table 2.5 is needed.
Which one? 2.5. This is the 2.5.
2.5, sir. Table 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. Up to 2.5, we have completed the 2.5. Okay, some examples are there. Okay, and 2.6 is the rotational mechanical system, but we'll see it later, not today. Okay, that is another thing. I think the chapter is almost at the finishing stage, because I will not show many things. If I show you many things, then it will be more difficult for you guys. In the next class, I will show you the 2.6 and 2.7, 6 and 7. Okay, and today we have shown you the 2.4 and 2.5. Okay, some things from the 2.4 as well as the 2.5. Here see the another thing, electromechanical system transfer function, that is the 2.8. Electromechanical system, and this thing in your lab, electromechanical system transfer, DC motor, NASA flight simulator, robot arm with electromechanical control system components. See, so DC motor transfer function, DC motor transfer function equation are there. So we'll see this one, DC motor and load, and related math will be there. Okay, so we'll see up to 2.8. Okay, so we have completed 2.5. I think 2 more classes would be required to complete this one. Okay. Okay, now I am explaining the thing like uh, two classes for the chapter 2, right? Okay, chapter 2 for finishing the chapter 2, and one class for chapter 3, one class for chapter 3, and one class for chapter 4. See, we need 4 more classes to complete the chapter 4, up to chapter 4. Okay, total 4 class would be required. Now, tell me when your midterm will start. According to the, I think I have the routine. 27, midterm would start 2.
11 of October, sir.
Midterm exam date, say 2/10 to 10. That is the retake time. So 2nd of October. Now, okay, 2nd of October. And you would like to give the presentation after the midterm, right? After the midterm. You want
Yes,
to,
sir.
okay. Okay, the thing is, uh, we have missed a class, right? We have missed a class due to the some visit from the UGC, University Grant Commission and BUET. That's why I need an extra class, I think, to make up that class. Okay. So I think it is better to take the class on the Thursday, right? Thursday you have no class or class.
Thursday we have, sir.
Oh,
So
Thursday
the
you
English
have
class,
the
sir.
English class. Oh, so now tell me what is
But
the
sir, after
or
after
we can
12,
take the class at the lab time. Okay, in the lab time also. Okay, in the lab time we can also take the class, theory class. Right. In the next Tuesday, that means today is the Sunday. So in the next Tuesday, I'll take 2 class. Okay. That means in the, okay, I'm finishing this, I'm stopping this sharing. Not share, let me stop the recording. How to stop recording?